Yeah. I explain a little bit about myself. It's always such an interesting and challenging question. I think because I'm somebody who is in flux, but I do have a layer zero or a base layer or a base pair of ethics and I guess aesthetics. And so at the root or at the base, wisdom is certainly one of them. I do work with technologies from NFTs, the whole Web3 stack, to XR, meaning AI, VR, AR. I guess they haven't quite yet put AI into XR, but I think of AI as being a part of it. Um, I'm a sister. I have one sister and two brothers. I'm an artist. I have a workout right now called Breonna's Garden, which is digital veneration for the life of Breonna Taylor. It's a project that seeks to align Breonna with her purpose, which was healing, instead of her pain, which the news, glorifies. And I'm an art curator. I had my very first show with the Museum of the African Diaspora. It was a show in augmented reality. And it was the first time that artists at a major institution, black artists at a major institution, had been in a tech-based show, specifically AR.
Very good.
I also love surfing and trail running, in case anybody watching this wants to know what else is going on beyond the technology. Yeah, so the motivation behind Breonna's Garden was to simply amend history, right? Because the news is saying one thing about Breonna, but her family holds the truth of who she is, to the communities that she was in and who she was and is to them, right, as the loved ones. And so I wanted to create, the motivation behind creating Breonna's Garden was firstly to be a gift to her sister. Her sister, Janiyah Palmer, was sharing and grieving about Breonna online on Instagram, and she began receiving death threats for doing so. People were saying ugly things such as, your sister deserved every bullet she got, and so does your family, you all need to die, like all kind of crazy, really inappropriate, disgusting things. And that's when I sprung into action as an artist. I'm not somebody that will, especially at that time, 2020, just openly join a protest where, crazy folks are driving their cars into peaceful protests to intentionally harm people, or police are, just opening fire on civilians and calling it self-defense, right? They have full SWAT teams out there for people peacefully demonstrating. So I thought, well, as an artist, my job is to create and to reflect the times in creating. And also as a black woman, my job in the larger community of our family is to be there for each other, right? From the human family, but also specifically within the black families or indigenous families of this planet. And so I'm simply responding to my ability to be present and to, create an impact, right? A lot of people think that these kinds of initiatives are seen as a responsibility, and asking why would you want to make yourself responsible for this? And it's a kind of a weird question, not from you, but people have asked in the past. And I often tell them, well, it's my duty and it's my honor, but also in responsibility, one is just simply responding to their ability to do something, right? And so that's how I see it. It was on my heart very, very deeply, and I had the ability with my good buddy Sutu, who's my creative partner on this, the artistic director and the technical director on the AR portion of the project when it first launched. So we have two. We have an AR version and a VR version, which just appeared at South by Southwest. Our AR version premiered at Tribeca. And so Sutu, I called him up and I said, hey, I have this idea. You're probably going to think it's crazy, which, he did think it was a little crazy, but in the bold and audacious and beautiful way, not in the this is impossible kind of way. And he said, yeah, you're right. This is a little crazy, but sign me up. I want to do this with you. It's super important, and I'd be honored. So with that, he's a legendary AR/VR artist, and with that, we began to build Breonna's garden. Yeah, and I would, sketch to him what I thought was appropriate for this, and he would say, "Yeah, we can do this, but this is something we can't do," or "What if you thought about it this way?" So he was invaluable in terms of creative partnership, technical partnership, and friendship for making this happen. He also happens to be a pretty prolific artist within the NFT space, specifically eco NFTs. So shout out to Sutu. So representation is very important in all flavors of representation, whether it be through able-bodied, disabled kind of contrast, male, female, whatever binaries or non-binaries you want to bring about. I think we're in a time right now with our humanity, but also in the kind of development of our relationship with the planet Earth and the relationship with ethics, the relationship with technology, where we need to be representing our best selves, our best ideas, and our highest heart, right? And so when I think of representation, I don't think of it as a physical manifestation alone. I think of representation also as a spiritual manifestation as well. And so that's why I'm known as a wisdom technologist. I could be a creative technologist. I could just be a Web3 technologist. I could be any number of things, right, that people want to say. Just a creative entrepreneur, an entrepreneur. But I personally have taken on and defined wisdom technologist as somebody who works within technology, specifically the creative arts, and bring indigenous wisdoms and truths that are thousands of years old, by which the world is founded upon, hundreds of thousands of years old even, specifically the truths out of nature. I bring them into my practice as an artist and as somebody who deals with technologies. And so the manifestation of that, much like Breonna's garden, is wisdom technology. Someone asked me the other day in an interview, speaking of representation, as a Black woman, how do you find room in your being, and I'm paraphrasing, how do you find room in your being to make artworks about trauma and tragedy? And I said, oh, that's really interesting, because I don't see the artwork I've done being about trauma and tragedy. The artwork is, in fact, a love story of two sisters who were separated by murder, right? And it focuses on the love and not the murder. We know the murder. That's out there. That has a lot of great PR for those news stations and for the people that want to keep focusing on that. What doesn't have enough PR, what doesn't have enough attention, is the actual love between these two sisters and the love that this person, Breonna, had with her community, with her mother, with her other family members, right? And so I think of representation in that same way. When I talk about representation, I'm not showing up because of any type of tragedy or traumas from women or from people of culture. I'm showing up to represent the highest portion of my heart and my ideas. I'm showing up to represent wisdom, right? I'm showing up to represent other aspects of our humanity that don't get enough light, right? And showing up to be the light in my best capacity. Now, there are days where the light is a little dim. Right? There are days where the light is a little dim. I'm tired, right? Or I'm PMSing or whatever the thing is. But nonetheless, that is my North Star. So representation to me is important, but more from the perspective of that which isn't physical and that which isn't connected to genotype, phenotype, or gender, right? Or biology even. Representation for me is about the highest order of your humanity. That's what we need to be representing, regardless of our binary or non-binary, regardless of our cultural background. Biomimicry. We need to be following the laws of life are held in nature. Nature has found a way to keep giving us oxygen, even though we keep giving Mother Nature the blues, right? Mother Nature has found a way to continue giving us water, even though we pollute it. Mother Nature's very kind. we are missing that respect and the wisdom for orders that came before us. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. First of all, it's important because my friends Colburn and Nicole are involved with this. And so when we think about how we make the circle bigger, right, in communities, how we grow communities, how we curate communities, I think it's important for people to always reach out, right, to folks that they are connected with, just as trees reach out, right? And so I'm on that tree of friendship and community with two people that I highly respect. And so when I understood that they were involved with this, I said, okay, I'm down, number one. And then with the motion design folks, I'm already aware of their work from Instagram for way back in the days and really have a lot of respect for the work that Kook and his mates have been doing. So that was a double yes. And why these events are important? A, for community, bringing people together. Many of us have only seen each other online. We've not ever met in person. And sometimes it's hard to, sometimes I forget that I haven't met people in person because I speak to them so often online. And I see their picture, I'm in their feed, seeing what's going on, whether it be updates such as I have a new puppy or a new baby or a new house or a new car, whatever it may be, or got a job promotion, I sold this work to a really awesome collector. Because of that contact through COVID, we've made these tight digital bonds, right? Tight multiverse bonds. And so by allowing us to strengthen those bonds by connecting physically, we're bringing the worlds of metaverse or multiverse to the world of IRL and creating this new kind of third space that only exists when you're able to now have something in person, to literally break bread or laugh or hug. Like so many people want to give handshake, and now after COVID, first of all, I really don't care for touching people's hands, number one. And I need not say more about that. But secondly, I think one thing that's missing, especially through the 2 years or 18 months we didn't see each other, is human touch. Touch is extremely important to humans. It's a form of communication, a form of assurance, a form of love, a form of safety, security that human beings need in order to be successful in life, within community, but also individually. So to show up and be able to hug people that I've been giving cyber hugs to for the last 18 months or 2 years is extremely gratifying and necessary.